Every man thinks the breakup will kill him. It doesn't. It exposes him. It strips away the illusion that love was his strength, when in truth it was his comfort. You think she broke you, but what really shattered was the weak version of yourself. The one who lived for approval, the one who mistook attention for love, the one who needed to be chosen to feel complete. What's left now is the raw material of something far stronger, but only if you face it. Every breakup is a mirror. It shows you who you were pretending to be. The man who begged, who pleaded, who scrolled through her photos at 2 a.m. That man wasn't destroyed by love, he was destroyed by dependence. You were addicted to validation, and she was the supplier. When she left, you went through withdrawal. That pain you feel? It's not heartbreak, it's detox. You're detoxing from the version of yourself that needed someone else to confirm your worth. And here's the brutal truth. Most men never recover because they try to replace instead of rebuild. They rush to find someone new, not realizing that the same broken patterns are waiting in the next relationship. You can't rebuild your power while still chasing distraction. Healing isn't found in another woman's body. It's found in the silence you've been avoiding, in the loneliness that terrifies you. Because that silence, that emptiness, is where real masculinity is forged. You don't become strong by escaping pain. You become strong by standing still in it until it teaches you. Every sleepless night, every unanswered text, every flashback to what could have been, those are your training grounds. That's life's version of the gym. Every tear you fight back is a rep. Every temptation to reach out is resistance training for your self-control. Every time you choose not to beg, not to check, not to chase, you're lifting emotional weight. You're rebuilding discipline from the inside out. What you lost was her. What you're gaining is you. And that trade is worth everything, because the man who walks through heartbreak and refuses to collapse becomes something women can't manipulate and life can't break. Pain is the price of transformation, and heartbreak is the currency of evolution. You're not the same man anymore. You're being remade, not in her image but in your truth. This is where weak men disappear and dangerous men are born. The day she left, you thought your life ended. What you didn't realize was that it just began. You were too blinded by pain to see that life had just given you the greatest opportunity for transformation you'll ever get, the death of your old identity. The version of you that needed her is gone. The version of you that doubted himself is burning. And when the ashes settle, the only man who'll rise is the one who no longer fears loss. You see, men are not destroyed by heartbreak. They are revealed by it. When a man loses the woman he built his world around, he faces the truth about himself, that his foundation was never love, it was fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not being enough, fear of not being wanted. And until you face that fear, you'll keep building your life on sand. But when you look that fear dead in the eyes, when you sit alone with your pain long enough to stop running from it, you stop being controlled by it. That's the moment when everything changes. You stop begging to be understood. You stop explaining yourself. You stop performing. You realize that nothing she says, nothing she does, and nothing she feels has power over you anymore. The breakup was never punishment. It was purification. Life removed what distracted you from your potential. It broke you open, so your deeper strength could finally breathe. This is the hidden purpose of pain. It exposes what's weak, so it can be rebuilt stronger. You've been taught to see heartbreak as tragedy, but it's initiation, the rite of passage from boyhood to manhood. Boys chase comfort, men build capacity. A breakup is the test every man must pass to prove he's capable of standing alone, because only when you can stand alone can you truly stand with anyone. Remember this, suffering isn't meant to make you bitter, it's meant to make you awake. The pain you feel right now isn't a setback, it's a signal. It's telling you where to focus, what to fix, what to let go of. The nights you lie awake replaying everything that went wrong, those are the nights you get honest. The gym, the journal, the silence, those become your new therapists. Every rep, every note, every thought that hurts, that's the sound of reconstruction. You'll know you're rebuilding right when you stop fantasizing about revenge and start craving improvement. When you stop wondering what she's doing and start wondering what you're becoming. That's the shift. The moment your pain stops controlling you and starts fueling you. Because heartbreak, when mastered, becomes energy. You stop trying to fill the emptiness and start building within it. That's how power is born, not from pleasure but from purpose. And once that shift happens, something strange occurs. You stop missing her. You start missing yourself. The man you lost while trying to please her. The man who used to dream, create, and lead before he started chasing affection. That's who you're rebuilding now, not for revenge, but for resurrection. You can't rebuild as the same man who was destroyed. The version of you that begged, explained, and doubted must die for the stronger version to live. You can't rebuild with comfort. You rebuild with fire. That's why pain shows up first, to melt everything that's fake. Heartbreak strips you down to what's real. And what's real is that you're still here. You still have breath, will, and time. That means you have everything you need. The first step to rebuilding after a breakup is discipline. Because heartbreak drains your emotional energy, discipline is how you recharge it. Wake up early, train hard, eat clean, work relentlessly. You're not just building muscle or success, you're building identity. Every day you follow through, you remind yourself, I'm still in control. That's power. Because heartbreak makes you feel powerless, and discipline is how you take that power back. The second step is detachment. Stop stalking her life, stop replaying her stories, stop chasing closure that doesn't exist. You don't need to understand why she left. You need to understand why you stayed after it started hurting. That's where growth happens. Detachment isn't about hate, it's about reclaiming mental space. It's saying, my mind is mine again, because you can't rebuild your empire while living in someone else's kingdom. The third step is direction. Men fall apart after breakups because they lose their compass. They built their sense of meaning around her, and when she's gone, they wander. Purpose becomes the map. Find it. Build something. Create something. Pursue something that outlives pain. Purpose doesn't erase heartbreak. It outgrows it. When your goals become bigger than your grief, your past becomes irrelevant. And the fourth step is forgiveness. Not for her, but for you. Forgive yourself for simping, for overgiving, for staying too long. Forgive yourself for losing focus. You needed that lesson to evolve. You needed to know how it feels to give your power away, so you'll never do it again. Without that mistake, you'd still be asleep. Forgiveness turns regret into wisdom. But here's where most men stop. They rebuild just enough to look strong, but not enough to be strong. They go to the gym, make money, post quotes, but deep down, they're still seeking validation. They want her to notice the new version. That's not strength, that's performance. True power is when you stop caring if she sees it. When you realize you didn't level up for revenge, you leveled up for redemption. And that's when the transformation turns dangerous, because you're no longer motivated by pain, you're motivated by purpose. You don't need her love to feel alive anymore. You have your mission. And nothing is more intimidating to the world than a man who's found his mission after losing everything. He becomes ungovernable. That's the danger no one talks about, not physical danger, but spiritual. The danger of a man who's no longer afraid to start over. You can't manipulate him. You can't threaten him. You can't break him, because he's already been broken and he survived. That's the man you're becoming. The breakup didn't end you, it upgraded you. You just haven't realized it yet. There's a silence after heartbreak that most men can't handle. The silence after she's gone, after the messages stop, after the phone no longer lights up. It feels like death, but it's actually rebirth. You've just been given the rarest thing in the modern world: total isolation, no distractions, no validation, just you and the truth. Most men drown in that silence. The few who learn to sit in it emerge unstoppable. You see, loneliness is where men meet themselves. When you're stripped of love, attention, and comfort, what's left is raw being. No audience, no applause, no mask. That's where you finally meet the man behind the persona. The man who doesn't need noise to feel worthy. That's the man who becomes dangerous. Because when you no longer need constant reassurance, you become self-sustaining, emotionally bulletproof. The strongest men aren't the ones who never fall apart. They're the ones who learn how to rebuild in the dark without witnesses. They don't post about the grind, they live it. They don't seek sympathy, they seek structure. They channel pain into progress. While others drink, distract, and decay, the strong man isolates and reinvents. That's not sadness, that's incubation. That's where evolution happens. You have to understand something powerful. Loneliness isn't your enemy, it's your forge. Every hour you spend alone, mastering your habits, building your mind, improving your body, you're quietly replacing emotional weakness with inner armor. The world will never understand it. They'll see your calm and mistake it for numbness. They'll see your focus and call it coldness. But that's because they've never known what it feels like to be free from need. The man who embraces solitude becomes magnetic in crowds because his energy isn't seeking, it's radiating. He's not trying to be liked, he's trying to be aligned. He's not looking for someone to complete him, he's building a life that complements him. Women can sense that immediately. They can feel when a man's attention is a gift, not a plea. They can feel when he's not performing for them, but living for himself. That's the new kind of attraction, not the loud, desperate energy of a man chasing love, but the quiet, gravitational pull of a man who's finally found himself. And once you've experienced that state, that peace in your own company, you'll never go back. You'll stop chasing what disturbs your calm. You'll stop begging for attention that costs you focus. You'll stop negotiating your standards just to feel wanted. Because once you've learned to be happy alone, the whole world loses its leverage over you. That's the divine irony of heartbreak. It teaches you what freedom feels like. Before her, you were comfortable but weak. During her, you were distracted but dependent. After her, you're alone but limitless. This is the point most men never reach, because they quit too early. They try to escape the discomfort instead of transforming inside it. But if you can stay long enough for the pain to burn away everything false, you'll find something no breakup can take: your unshakable self-respect. When you find peace in the same silence that used to terrify you, you've won. That's when you know. The heartbreak didn't break you, it baptized you. At some point, the storm ends, not because it gets easier, but because you get stronger. You wake up one morning and realize the pain doesn't sting the same way. The silence doesn't feel like punishment anymore, it feels like power. You look around and see how much you've built while everyone else was busy escaping themselves. Your body's stronger, your mind's sharper, your focus deeper. You're not trying to move on anymore. You've already moved up. That's when you understand something profound. You were never healing from her. You were healing from you. From the weak, reactive, approval-hungry version of yourself that love exposed. She wasn't your heartbreak. She was your lesson. The end wasn't rejection. It was redirection. The universe didn't punish you. It prepared you. Now you walk differently. You talk differently. You see through things you used to fall for. You no longer chase potential, you evaluate reality. You don't beg to be understood, you choose to be respected. You no longer ask, "Why did she leave me?" You ask, "Why did I abandon myself trying to keep her?" That's the level up that makes men dangerous, not violent, not vengeful, but untouchable. Because the man who rebuilds after heartbreak learns that emotions are tools, not masters. He can feel without falling, love without losing himself, connect without collapsing. That's what true masculine strength looks like. Calm under pressure, focused under chaos, patient under temptation. The kind of man who doesn't talk about his value but carries it. The kind of man whose silence speaks louder than other men's speeches. And here's the beautiful part. When you reach that state, women start to appear again, but this time it's different. You're not chasing, you're choosing. You're not desperate for love, you're deliberate with it. You're no longer looking for someone to heal you, you're looking for someone who matches your peace. That's what makes you magnetic. Not your muscles, not your money, your energy. The way you stand unbothered, the way you don't flinch when tested, the way your calm feels like safety in a world full of chaos. That's why this version of you is dangerous, because you're free. Free from need, free from guilt, free from the illusion that you need to be loved to be complete. You've turned heartbreak into horsepower, pain into precision, loss into leverage. That's the man the world can't manipulate. That's the man she'll remember long after you've forgotten her name. So let this be your reminder. The breakup wasn't your ending. It was your initiation. You've been reborn through fire, and every man who's ever become great has walked through those flames alone. You are not broken, you are becoming. You are not unlucky, you are unleashed. And if this message spoke to something deep inside you, if you felt the pain and the silence and the rebuilding, then share this with a man who's still in the fire. Let him know it won't last forever, that on the other side of heartbreak lives a stronger, calmer, more disciplined version of himself waiting to be discovered, like this video. Subscribe and support the channel through the link in the description, because here we don't chase the past, we build the future.